What would you say are the 3 habits that you started to develop early on when you didn't have a lot of money into becoming a millionaire? Could you think back on 3 specific habits that supported you from going from $50,000 to $100,000 a year to breaking into the first million?
Yeah, I would say definitely consistency. I was relentless in just keeping the same habits over and over and over again. I would then say it was the focus of just, I had one goal in mind of just like, I'm going to do this one thing and do it really, really, really well. That's all I wanted to do. And I would also say saving money. I mean, I lived really, really, really frugally.
You obsessed about that.
Probably
too frugal.
I was too frugal.
You were like every penny.
Yeah.
I can't go out and have an extra sushi. I can,
Oh, not even. Like, I wouldn't even do the sushi. It was probably unhealthy. I mean, looking back, like, I can't have regrets about it. But, I mean, it got to a point where I remember, I was talking about this yesterday. I was calculating the cost of gas to go and visit a friend. And I determined, it's how bad it is, though. Like, the cost of gas was not worth the time I would be able to spend with his friend. And, like, I did the analysis on that and thinking, well, if I'm only going to see for 2 hours and it's going to cost me X amount of, like, that's stupid. Like, I should not be looking at it like that. But that's how I was in the beginning.
Where did that come from? Is that like a childhood learned behavior? Did you model that from somewhere? Were you just, like, why did you feel like you needed to be so obsessive about every penny and decisions of, like, driving to see a friend? Is it worth the money? Like, when...
Yeah, a lot of it I thought of like how much I would be making or the cost of like my time and then extrapolating from there like what my time is worth doing certain activities. There was also another point, I must have been like 15 years old, maybe 16 age, like just got my driver's license. And I remembered like how far $20 could get you. Right. And I was like, okay, if I have $20 and that's my budget and that's what I'm spending, I could put $10 in the gas tank. I could, spend $5 on a Subway footlong sandwich, and that's like 2 meals, so $2.50 per meal. And then I have another $5 left over for like miscellaneous. Like I remember breaking it down to that degree, and then just from there, taking that to well, here's what $1 could buy, and just like appreciating that. But then also going through, there was a time briefly. I think the job was like 6 weeks. I worked at this gold. Precious metals bullion investment firm. I did data entry because I thought I wanted to like be an investment banker. I'm like, this is a great way to get experience. It wasn't, but I think I must have been paid like $7.75 an hour. Like it was maybe $8 like max. And this was back in early 2008. And I remember thinking, okay, like if I'm making like $8 an hour, is a Subway sandwich worth 40 minutes of that? Like no. Like, and then how could I stretch that further? So I just thought everything in terms of like going back to making like $8 an hour.
Wow. Did your parents teach you lessons about money early on? Or did you have money mentors?
No.
What were the beliefs you had early on around money? Like, what did you think when you thought of money, when money came in, did you think I need to save it? Did you think money was good? Money was bad? What were your beliefs about it?
Yeah, I never thought money was bad. I had always been obsessed with, I guess, like saving and collecting. Like even as a kid, I think it was my grandpa showed me like his coin collection, and I thought it was so cool. And he showed me a picture of like a 1909 SVDB penny. He's like, these pennies are out there still. They're like X amount that are probably still in circulation. And like and I was like maybe 6 years old, and I'd just be checking pennies. Really? Like every penny would be like, is this a 1909 SVDB? Like I never found one, but I've just been obsessed with I think just saving, collecting. Like even if I got like birthday money or Christmas money, like. I would save it. I wouldn't spend it. And I liked just to see that accumulate in like an envelope in my room.
Or
like
a piggy bank or something, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like $100 or something like that. Of like the whole year's worth of like saving and collecting. I just naturally, I think, gravitated towards that.
What was did anyone teach you about money though? Did you ever like...
No, not really. My mom had a book, and I think it was like The Millionaire Mindset.
Secrets of the Millionaire Mind?
Maybe. Something about the millionaire mindset, or maybe it was the millionaire next door.
Yeah.
And I must have been like 10, 11, 12 years old. And I just saw the book that said millionaire on the side of it. I'm like, I'm going to read this book. And I was not a reader at all. Like I was not reading books. But for some reason, I just read that book and I enjoyed it. And it's just like all these things made sense. Like, oh, the average millionaire drives a Ford F-150, and it's more common to drive a Toyota Corolla than it is a Ferrari. And most millionaires don't make $1 million a year. They're making an average income and they save for 30 years. And so all of those things, like I just had an interest in that.
I'm curious about what is the psychology that happens for you when money comes into your bank account? When you get a check, which I don't know if you get checks anymore, but when money enters the bank account and you get paid on the 20th or 21st on YouTube money every month or whatever it is, sponsors come in. When it enters and you see it come through, is there an emotional connection you have to that dollar amount?
Yeah.
Or is it neutral? Is it
No.
Is it exciting? Is it fun? Is it scary? What is the feelings that you have?
So immediately, because it's really hard to separate what I have in my bank account versus what I'll have left over after tax. So whatever money is in there, I just mentally will do. And I do quarterly taxes, but like anything that comes in, I just multiply that by 0.6. And I just assume 40% is going to be gone for taxes, accounting, miscellaneous fees, just random stuff, just average 0.6%. And then I take what's left over of that, and then I multiply that by 4%. And that to me is how much that money will last for the rest of my life. And so I do that with everything. So for every $100 I get, I have 60 cents left. Or sorry, 60 cents. For every $100 I have, $60 left, 0.4. I think that works out to be like $2.80 or whatever it works out to be. That's my passive income. And like I'll never go below that. And so that's what I invest everything. I mean, my actual personal expenses and cost of living is very low. Like everything I do is either for the business, discretionary, personal's like almost nothing.
Right.
So it's just like everything gets invested for the most part that's left over from that. And
how does it feel though when you're analyzing this? You see the dollar amount come in, you multiply it, you do all these things. Does it excite you? Do you feel abundant? Do you feel like, okay, everything's on the right track? Do you feel scarce ever?
I'm sure I definitely, everyone tells me I've got like a scarcity mindset because I'm so much like when I get something, I don't want to lose it. But I've also been very conservative in terms of like building wealth, saving money, in terms of like investment returns, like everything. I'm like, if I just can average 4%, like I'm fine. Or even usually 3%. But no, for me, I just think like I've always increased my lifestyle based on really the 3% rule of like I could spend 3% of what I have invested every single year, regardless of how much it makes, 3%. What can I buy with that? And then even of that, I'm like, okay, well, I still want to save half. So it's like really the 1.5% rule. But it gives me something to look forward to that I know it's sustainable. Like whatever I want to do, as long as I stick with that, I can get new experiences. I can work my way up to something else in a way that I don't have to worry about it running out, and just feel safer that way.
Yeah.